Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, I bring to you this live free Q&A dog training session. Guys, this is for you, so shoot your questions into the comments. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. It does the heart good when I see people telling me, hey, I'm watching from so-and-so. So it kind of makes my day. The more people we get out there, the happier I am. And I'm hoping the more people we get out there, the more questions we get and the more I can answer for you guys and help you all out. So again, this is a live free Q&A session. This is all about what you guys need in your dog training world, in the journey of the dog training process. I'm here to help guide you on the guided journey. Good morning, John. So with that being said, I'm going to still talk about the new introduction. Hopefully, we're going to roll it out the first week of August. It'll be Tuesday evenings. I'm at 9 o'clock at night, Eastern Standard Time. And this will be the format that we've been talking about, where we're going to do live 15-minute free dog training sessions, one-on-one with you guys. So if anybody's interested in or knows a family member or a relative or a friend or a fellow dog lover, whatever, that may be interested in it, have them reach out to me at the numbers the information I just put on here. My cell phone number to text me at is 631-514-9128. Email address info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. This is going to be exciting, guys, because this is going to be me sitting down with one, two, or maybe three people live doing a one-on-one dog training session as if I'm in your living room. To me, this is what it's about. It's helping you guys on the journey with your dog in the training process and getting to know who Back to Basics is in a more intimate setting. While we're doing this new platform, if there's questions, I'll get to those questions in the last 15 minutes of the live broadcast. But this will be live in your living room. So if anybody's interested, knows somebody's interested, please get them my information. I want to start getting this thing rolling out there, and I'm excited to get it started. Good morning, Donna, Rich, Alex, Brian, and of course, Stark. Got some great feedback on Stark, I think I told you guys about. Good morning, Joan. So this week's topic, guys, we're getting into the summertime, and I know we're in the summertime, and I know I talk about till I'm blue in the face, walking our dogs. It's the best training thing. I mean, you want to take care of some good morning, CC. You guys want to take care of some unwanted behaviors. It starts at the walk. And I really, really, truly believe that. Walking your dog the way that I've designed it, I know Donna can attest to it, the structure of the walk is designed to show structure and leadership, set clear, decisive boundaries, rules, the following theory that we talk about that our dog should follow us. And Donna's right. I mean, Donna just threw the comment up there. It starts with threshold management. Guys, I can't stress it enough. But what I want to talk about is now that the heat is here, we have to be a little bit more careful. I've seen it around this complex here. People are walking their dogs, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's freaking hot out. So please be aware of the temperature on the concrete, the blacktop, whatever's around you. Be aware of the temperatures outside. John, you're right. It starts everything starts at a leash. You get a puppy, 8 weeks old, start on a leash, guys. Dogs overheat very easily, and the more pushed in type faces like the pugs and things like that are out there, they overheat very quickly. The dogs with the folds, like the bulldogs and the English bulldogs and the Shar-Peis and things like that have a lot of folds of skin, they overheat very easily. So you got to be very, very aware of what the temperatures are. And I've seen a lot of dogs. I mean, I walk around my complex constantly with Zoe, without Zoe. And I've seen dogs on the verge of overheating. Um, so, my advice to anybody and I do want you to continue walking your dogs, maybe go out earlier in the morning before the sun comes up, go out after the sun goes down in the evening, for the good structure walks, not for the bathroom walks. Those you have to do whenever. Um, Please make sure you bring water, not only for you, but for your dog. Um, they sell these cool little things now. They're pop-up bowls. You can attach them right to your leash. You can put the, water in a bowl, let your dog drink. Uh, Coffee's not a good idea. Too much caffeine, not good for you for humans during this weather. But um, go ahead and do your structured walk. Joan has a question. I have a question about threshold management. I have 4 dogs, 3 little ones, and an old, but Charlotte is only 3 and very strong Frenchie. Can I train one in the pack and not the others? Yeah, you can. I don't necessarily recommend it. I do to say you train one at a time. I don't know if that's what you're asking for. I would definitely train. You have multiple dogs. I would say train threshold management one dog at a time. Master it one dog, move to the next dog, so on and so forth. Um, as far as just training one to do it out of the 3, if that's what again, I'm trying to figure out the exact question. I wouldn't. I would train, make sure all 4 or all 4 dogs understand these. This is the rule. And when I had multiple dogs and I was training multiple dogs, okay, the 3 little ones, absolutely. If you have 3 dogs that don't need training, then focus on the one that needs training. Um, it is so important, and you can use the other ones to set the example. But yeah, no, definitely train the one that needs it. The one that needs threshold management, you drill it into their heads. It is so important to saving the dog's life. It's so important for a good, calm, structured walk. Um, but yeah, master it. Donna says it all the time, and I know other customers of mine say it all the time. Threshold management has saved their dogs. I gave you guys the story what Donna texted me last week, I think it was, how the landscapers left the gates open. They're not sure how long, but Stark understood. No, I can't go through that open gate. That's a threshold. I'm not allowed to go through that. It's not the front door. It's not the back door. It's still the door. And he understood that he wasn't supposed to go through it. Imagine if they didn't drill in the conditioning of threshold management. Stark sees that opening like most dogs. They're gone. Now I see on Facebook my dog got out because the idiots left the gate open. And now we're searching for a dog. It saves lives. I can't stress how important threshold management is to the survival of our dogs and our peace of mind. She does good at the front door, but not back door. We'll work on this next. Yeah, absolutely. Guys, when I talk about threshold management, thresholds wherever you decide. So it could be going out the front door. It could be going out the back door. It could be going out the door from the house into the garage, from the garage door to the driveway. It could be going from the family room to the dining room, or however your house is laid up. Anything could be considered a threshold. In Donna's house, we use from going from the dining room into the kitchen. So Stark, we use the counter as a threshold, so Stark wouldn't go in there while they're preparing food, while they're eating or whatever in the kitchen, and not being on the foot. So we created thresholds wherever we wanted the thresholds. Another great place to practice and really focus on threshold management, if you take your dog out in the car, getting out of the car at a dog park or any place, that's a threshold. Dog should not come out of the car excited. Dog should come out of the car calmly, so you are in control. That's what threshold management is, guys. It's about you being able to control the outside world. These areas where normally it would create excitement. So, like in my world, when we had the house, I used the 2 entrances into my dining room as thresholds for my dogs. So, when we were eating in the dining room as a family without permission, they weren't allowed in the dining room. And they understood that rule. That was a threshold. Same way they know with the front door open, that doesn't mean they're allowed out. It saves their lives. I can't stress it enough. And I wish everybody, like I said, guys, go to my YouTube channel, Back to Basics Dog Training on YouTube. Look for the logo that's above me. That's the best way to see. I think it's on there. I'm 99% sure it is. Otherwise, look for this face. Go to my playlist, How to Leash Train Your Dog or My Dog in 5 Easy Steps. Go to episode 2. If you don't do anything else about mastering the walk, focus on episode 2, threshold management. I can't stress it enough. It's all based on what I talk about. Calm is key. No way should a dog be able to bolt out the front door on a leash, or not on a leash. Donna says I put food in Stark's bowl and he will not go to eat it. He does go into the kitchen without permission. He will look at the bowl and then look at us. If we walk out of the kitchen, he will stand there until we give him permission to eat. Beautiful. Believe it or not, even that process of feeding Stark in this case is threshold management. Just because the food's down on the floor doesn't give you permission to take it. And where that works out really good is when we have little kids in the house and they drop something, we don't have to necessarily worry about the dog going for the food the same time the kid goes for the food, and then the kid's hand gets in the dog's mouth, and then I get the phone call, my dog bit the kid. No, dog was hungry. Or it's okay. Dog thinks it's okay to pick up anything on the floor, food on the floor. Doesn't matter. There has to be specific rules there. Even when I talk about calm, guys, feeding your dog should be based on calm. I can't tell you how many people want to eat, and they get all excited to get the dog all jacked up about eating, and then the dog huffs the food and then throws it up again because they didn't even chew it because they got so excited about the process of eating, they forgot to chew. They literally became vacuum cleaned, and it's done. Donna says, love, love, love. Threshold management has saved our family. Absolutely. I know you guys from day one. I remember seeing the videos of you guys working not at the front door with threshold management, at the back door. And I believe it was Brian standing on the deck 20, 30 feet away from Stark. And Stark stayed at that door until Brian gave him permission to come out. And that was phenomenal. And that's what helped save Stark when the landscapers left the gates open. And it's so important. Guys, I can't stress it. I mean, we all know that, on Facebook, we see the posts, right before any type of storm is coming. Check your gates, check this, check that, check this. Yeah, check them, but train your dog. It's not okay to go out through the gate if it's open. And it starts at threshold management. I can't stress it enough, guys. I know I sound like one of those broken records that just keeps going about threshold management, but I know for a fact it saves dogs' lives. Period. The last thing I ever want to hear is the dog got out and, God forbid, got hit by a car. And it's something that we can eliminate from happening. And you can do it. I mean, if your dog is dog reactive, you can work on it with a neighbor with the dog out front, walking on the street. You have your dog on a leash, and then even though they see this other dog, they're not allowed out. If you during the fall time in New York, when the squirrels are running rampant, a lot of dogs have the prey drive. Work on threshold management. Even if your dog is good at it during normal times, work at it when there's that extra stimulus outside. The squirrels, the rabbits, whatever. So they understand, even if they see these critters, that doesn't mean you're allowed out. That doesn't give you permission. Good morning, Michelle, Rob, Athena, and Bergen. How's things going with the pup and the older pup? I did this with Zoe, and one of the stories I tell people is Zoe's threshold management is so almost, I would love to say the term bulletproof, is when I lived up on Long Island, one day I opened up the door, and we were going to go out. I don't remember. I think I was just going to work in the front yard, and right in front of across the street were 3 deer standing there, and Zoe saw them. But because I didn't give her permission to go out, she didn't go into prey drive. Now she's part hound dog. Her prey drive is very strong at times, but she knew she wanted to. You can see in her eyes, she was like looking at me like, "Can I go get them?" And I'm no, and I stayed there as a test. Um, Donna asked, "Any ideas what to do when if someone walks too close to his bowl while he is eating? He's a he lo- he has a low growl. It happened only once in a while, but it's still not. I still want to work on it. Absolutely. Just real quick, Michelle, I'm so happy the girls are playing nicely and they are stopping almost on cue because that was your big concern. Just keep working on it. A couple of things, Donna. Be real careful when you do this. Food is a primitive thing. I don't agree with a dog growling, guarding their food if I'm just walking by. Should never happen. I know you guys use the e-collar. You can do a little bit of a reminder. Nope, that's unacceptable. Don't take away the food because I hear these stories. Dog growls when they're eating, take away the food. Well, that's why they're growling because they're afraid you're going to take away their food. But you are allowed to disagree with the growl. No, Stark, that's not acceptable. You can move them away from the food source. Tell them to move, and tell them to sit, and then regroup as if you're just started the feeding process. So he understands, even though he's eating, you're still in control of it. You're not going to take away his food because try to take away my food, see what happens to you. But you got to make sure he understands it's still unacceptable. I don't like the growl. Growling does not mean aggression. It's a communication, but it's still unacceptable while they're at that point. So what you can do is reinforce with a no. That's unacceptable. Sit, move, whatever command you're going to use. When he's focused on you and calm, now you can have the food again because that's the only state of mind you're allowed to eat in. I hope that makes sense. Just be real careful, guys. Remember, food is primitive. I don't know if there's statistical proof on it, but a lot of people get bit because they play games with a dog's food. There's one of those training methods that I absolutely deplore is when you read about it, when they say, oh, the dog is eating, and when it's a puppy, you should put your hand in the food bowl. I never have done that. Should I also use the leash? Yeah, you may want to, but the problem is you said it doesn't happen all the time. So it's kind of hit and miss. The e-collar is the leash without the rope, but if you have the leash on, of course, absolutely, just be careful not to overcorrect on that because if you overcorrect, he can get because he is eating. And you don't want a redirection. So you really want to stay as calm as possible. Just a friendly reminder. You may even want to use the low level, not the higher level. Use the low level. No, reinforce it. It's training. Remember, training is the low level. You're number one. It just disagreeing with the growl. There was no reason for it. You're not going to steal their food. Yeah, it's not an uncommon thing for them to bite somebody over food, guys. It's primitive, it's primal, it's survival. Um, what I do with dogs, if they growl, I usually stand my ground. I just stay there. But I stay calm. It's not okay. I will reinforce with my discipline sounds. I will reinforce with my discipline commands, but I will stand my ground. I actually get a little bit bigger. It's hard to imagine being 6'5". I make myself a little bit bigger. But the energy I want to put it across is, hey, that ain't happening. And I stay there, breathing in the roses, blowing out the candles. If I'm getting the death stare, you know what, Donna, if you can visualize this in a little bit different way. The story of when I worked with Duke, when Duke wasn't allowed on the furniture because that was one of his guarding points, like Stark guarding food. Yeah, stand your ground, move a little bit closer. When you see, but if he submits to you, and I'm going to get into the story of Duke because that is really what we're talking about. So let me finish that story and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So when Duke wasn't allowed on the furniture because that was his guarding point, that was his bite history was whenever he was up on furniture, be it a couch or chair. In my world, it was the outside lounge chair. When he got up there and he didn't listen to me and he gave me that with that sideways death stare that they do. Um, I had other dogs there. I brought the other dogs inside because I didn't want another dog coming to help me. Um, and I just said my no. I stood there, focused on me, and he kept that going for I don't know how long. And then after about 2 minutes or so, I said no again. And he lowered his head like, oh, okay. And as soon as he lowered his head, I actually took a step back because I figured he submitted to what I was asking him to do. And I hate the word submitted, but I don't know another word. He gave in to what I was asking him to do. So I took away some of the pressure. When I stepped back, no, off, because that's what I needed him to do. And he got off and he came over to me like, did I do good? So you can do the same thing to Stark. If he stops the nonsense, praise him. And then take a step back and then walk a step closer again. But take the step back. Show him you're going to willing to give in because he gave in. But then you take the step back towards him to see if he growls again, of course. And always be diligent. Like I said, unfortunately, a lot of people get bit when dogs are eating. I think because people do the wrong thing. So we're going to go into the segue on that. And if anybody has a comment on this, of course, they can put it down. We read the stories we see on Facebook. We go to different YouTube videos, and they say when you get a puppy and they're eating, put your hand in there so the dog knows that you're allowed to touch and take their food. Stop it. It's ridiculous. That's my opinion. I've never done it, never will do it. Once I give the dog the food, I'm giving it to you. Why would I want to make you feel like at any point I would take it away? That'd be like cooking me a filet mignon and trying to take it from me once I start eating. I will stab you. What I want the dogs to do in my world is if I walk by them or a child walks by them or anybody walks by them, they should be fine with it because they're not going to feel threatened. And here's the caveat, and I hear it all the time. Well, I have little kids, and the little kids may stick their hands in the dog's food bowl and they're eating. Teach your kids not to do that. I grew up with dogs my whole life, and my parents basically told us, don't touch the dog's food. That's the dog's food. No reason to put your hands in there. So train the children not to do that. And of course, if you have young kids, toddlers running around, 2, 3 years old, whatever it is, what you want to do, you never would feed, in my world, you don't feed the dogs when you have kids running around unsupervised. So one, if the toddler is coming into the kitchen or wherever you're feeding the dog and you see that, you can actually now say, dog's eating, leave it alone. Couple of things that shows your dog. Hey, you got my back, I'm eating. Thanks for leaving the kids away, keeping the kids away. I don't like when people bother me while I eat. It's just a snowball effect, but you have to do everything calm. I wouldn't do it if I saw the kid coming by stop, because then we'll scare the kid and we'll scare the hell out of the dog. Hey, you're getting too close. But that's what supervision is about. It's no different than, guys, if you have a 6-month-old puppy and you let him out into your backyard unsupervised, shame on you. It's like having a 2-year-old outside unsupervised. I would never do that in a million years. They will get into trouble. The more we supervise, the better it is for them. And on a quick note, while we got some people watching, just going to let you know next week, next Saturday, whatever day of the week it is, 23rd, I think, 22nd, somewhere, 21st, I don't even know. Next Saturday, a week from today, I will not be broadcasting. My daughter's coming in from New York City, and I'm going to spend the weekend with her because I haven't seen her in a while. So I will not be doing this next Saturday. I'm taking the week off. But we'll be back the following Saturday. And also, guys who are watching, girls that are watching, anybody who wants to participate in my new format on Tuesday evenings at 9 o'clock Eastern time, where I'm doing one-on-one 15-minute private training sessions with you guys free, reach out to me. I'm leaving this information up here throughout the whole show. text me, say, hey, I'm interested in it, and I'll get you what you need to do, and I will go through it. We'll have a conversation before we go live. Reach out to me, 631-514-9128, or email me at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are excited. I'm going to be posting this out. I'm just trying to come up with the words because, again, from here to here, it gets lost. To post out on Facebook to really try to build some interest in it. Hopefully, I'll get that out next week to all the Facebook groups I'm part of around the country. My goal is to bring back the basics dog training around the country. I hope you guys are with me. I think we can do a lot together. Hence why I always say together we can help one dog or one family at a time, and that's countrywide, worldwide. So I'm excited, guys. I hope you guys are excited as I am about this. So in the meantime, do we have any questions? I know, Michelle, you said things are going really good. I'm happy to hear that. Donna, Rich, and family, you guys are always doing a phenomenal job. My boy Stark there. Keep up the good work. I know he's appreciating it. And everybody else who's been watching, I'm going to enjoy it. Like I said, unfortunately, she's the one child that didn't move down here with us. So when she's here, I like to spend as much time as I can with her. So we're excited about that. What do you suggest on leash aggression? Okay, Mary, that's a great question. We've discussed it a lot. Again, I'm going to defer back to my YouTube channel, How to Leash Train Your Dog in 5 Easy Steps. Every leash aggression is usually created by one or two things. One, the walk starts out so damn excited, because it does. And then when we get there and they're barking and they're trying to get at the people and at other dogs and at the cats and at the squirrels, at the leaves falling or whatever the hell they're going after, we correct with tension. We hold them back. God, I don't have a leash here, but if you can imagine, this is what we're doing. We're holding them back and we're saying, no, and we're doing this and we're doing this. You actually create a negative effect. When you hold your dog back, it actually causes them to try to go forward. I can't stress that enough. It is real. It sounds like, well, I'm holding them back, but in order to hold them back like that, you're using tension. What you want to do is make a leash correction, and you want to throw them off balance. That's when I say pop the leash. But if you're using the wrong tools during the walk, you're not helping yourself either. If you're using a harness during the walk and you have a dog that's leash reactive, it is so hard to correct the dog. Reason being is you're correcting their whole entire body, not just the part you need to control, which is the head and the brain. So what I would do, Mary, if I was you, I would definitely start everything based on calm. You don't leave your house until they're 100% calm. And every step of the walk has to be calm. And you have to be in control. And what do I mean by that? Definitely watch my videos. Don't put the leash on the dog when the dog's excited, because you're rewarding excitement. Threshold management. You never, ever go out the door while they're excited. If they bolt out the door 700 miles an hour, they're excited. A lot of dogs are obedient. Sit at the door. That's obedience, guys. But as soon as you release them, if they're bolting out at 700 miles an hour, they're not behaving. That's a behavioral issue. State of mind is a behavioral issue, not an obedience issue. So if you can get your dog to walk out through the threshold calm and go down the stairs, if you have stairs, calmly, every step of the walk has to be calm. So if you take one step onto your walkway and your dog starts going ahead, you stop right there, you regroup until it's calm. It may take you a while to get to the end of your property, but it's so worth it. Like Donna said, leash training for Stark, leash training started in the house. When that was still challenging, we went with the e-collar because they were having issues, and we reinforced what we learned on the leash with an e-collar to kind of supplement it, and it worked wonders for him, and the prong collar worked really good for him. But that was what he needed. I'm not saying every dog needs it, those tools. But everything has to be based on calm. If it's not calm, it's impossible. And a lot of leash reactivity looks like aggression, and it could be because they're being corrected with tension. And think about it: if you know, if you have a boss that's constantly putting pressure on you and yelling at you and screaming at you and blah 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 blah, think about what's going through your head. I'm going to punch this person in the face. I'm going to, it's just the way it is. That's why everything has to be based on calm, but calm starts in the home. And one of the things I tell people to do, master all the calm techniques inside the house. If you have a backyard, in the backyard before you take it to the outside world. And then walk smart. If you see a dog coming, if they're reactive to dogs, go to the other side of the street, ask this person if they're willing to help you, and you just keep doing different passes. I'm going to videotape that one of these days. Michelle, absolutely. How do you get Bergen to stop barking at people? Exposure and disagreement. Shannon, good morning. Yeah, Stark's definitely, his leash reaction was definitely because of overexcitement. Most of it is, guys. Shannon, I bought in a puppy. She wants to play, but my senior dog doesn't look at it that way. So it's becoming more of a fight. How do I stop this? Okay, one, the same situation that Michelle's dealing with. She just got a puppy and an older dog. Play is rough. Some older dogs just don't have the patience for it, and you have to advocate for the older dog. How do you do that? Again, to me, puppies, I don't know how old the puppy is, but for the first, if they're really tiny puppies, young puppies, for the first month or two, when they're not in their crate or the quiet area, they should be tethered to somebody on a leash. You can let them play, but watch the cues from the older dog. Once the older dog gives that look or that growl, growling doesn't mean aggression. Growling is the dog saying, hey, cut it out. I'm not happy. I want to rest, whatever. Then you just, with your leash, firm pop of the leash and a no, and you bring the puppy all the way to calm. Puppies have a high energy drive. Most puppies do. They're going to want to play. And the way they play is they play with their mouths and it looks aggressive. And if they bite too hard, an older dog is going to make the correction. They are going to do it. I've seen it. I've lived it. It happens. What we need to do as humans and as pack leaders is look, okay, the older dog is telling me saying something. Let me advocate for my older dog. But the avocation is a two-way street. If you see the older dog acting like an idiot towards the puppy, and the puppy is saying, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, then you advocate for the puppy. Now you're showing you're a true pack leader. But when you have puppies, guys, stop giving them so much freedom to run around the house and do whatever they want, out of sight, out of mind, whatever it is. Keep them tethered to you. When we got Zoe, my Maddie girl was 6 or 7. I don't remember anymore. And Zoe was the same way. She wanted to play with the older dog, and Maddie was setting the rules. And because I kept Zoe tethered to me when she was a puppy, I was able to advocate for Maddie and say, Zoe, you played. Maddie's saying enough. It's time to chill out. But remember, you are going after a state of mind. We're not going after the physical. We're not going after the physical to stop playing. We're going after the state of mind to stop playing. And that means when we stop the play with a puppy, we have to bring them all the way down to zero calm, as I call it. And it's so important. But if you're not calm, they're not calm. There's no way. Your energy is it. I'm going to change up finally, take my name and my numbers off a year. And, I say this constantly. You guys probably think I sound like a broken freaking record. But energy is definitely the most important communication tool we have with our dogs. The calmer we are, the calmer they are. And check it. Check it out for anybody who has a calm dog. Like I have a calm dog, and if I get into a fight with my wife or one of my kids or something, Zoe acts weird because she doesn't like when I'm not calm. But that's when I started from the time she was 8 weeks old and she was this cute little nothing. I started teaching her the value of calm over the value of excitement or the value of being insecure or the value of anything else. I taught her the value of being calm. Calm, you will get 100% more from me than you will when you're excited on your own or insecure on your own or anything other than calm. You will get more affection, you'll get more rewards, you will get more the calmer you stay. So I hope that makes sense, guys. I mean, the value of being calm is great, even for us in our everyday lives. So, with that being said, guys, I'm going to reiterate if you're interested in doing, and that goes to anybody, a 15-minute free live dog training session with me as if I'm sitting in your living room via the web, reach out to me. Got my cell phone number, 631-514-9128. Shoot me a text. I'm going to put that back up there for a little bit. Shoot me a text. Shoot me an email at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. If you have a friend or a relative around the country, around the world, that you think needs help with their dog, something that we can address here in this live platform on a Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, starting August, give them my information. And then tune in because you may hear somebody may ask a question. You may, oh my Lord, my dog does that too. Oh, I should listen. So, guys, I know I keep sounding like a broken record. But at this point, we're going to start wrapping it up, unless, of course, there's other questions. Thank you for we had her at 4 weeks. She's 12 weeks old now. Is it too late to start crate consistently? Absolutely not. It's never too late to start crate consistently. At 12 weeks old, and I'm not sure of the exact math, but the puppy should be sleeping roughly 18 hours a day, not a week. And they need that quiet time. They need that sleep. Same way our babies need quiet time and sleep. Babies sleep. They eat, they sleep, they poop. That's what puppies should be doing. That's pretty much it, guys, for at least a few weeks. So I would definitely start the crate train, put the crate in a quiet part of the house. When they're in the crate, no dog should be around them, of course, because that's their quiet zone. But yeah, start crate. If you haven't started crate training, start crate training. It is the best thing. Crate needs to represent calm. Don't ever force a dog into a crate. So if they show apprehension going into the crate, wow, that was a tongue twister. Guide them into the crate. Go on the journey with them. Use your leash. You'll use a little bit of leash pressure. If you have to entice them with a treat, go ahead, but don't make it an exciting thing. Oh, go in your crate, yay! Because then they get in the crate and they're bouncing off the crate. It should be no different than walking into your own bedroom calmly. Never use the crate as punishment. Never force a dog into the crate, because if you force them in, you're going to create a negative of the crate. We never want to do that. Guide them in. And if they really show some insecurity or phobias about the crate, guys, put them in the crate, but don't shut the door. Stay there. Don't let them out on their own, but don't just shut the door on them, because, again, then they feel trapped. We don't want them to feel trapped. So what I do is, if I see a dog that's not comfortable in the crate, I guide them into the crate. I make them stay there. Could be, depending on how bad the phobia is, it could be 3 seconds, 10 seconds. I don't know. Again, depending on the dog. But if they're really bad, within 3 seconds, and I see they're semi-calm, I invite them out. So they can go, and then I bring them right back in, and I do the process over and over again, working on the duration until I can close the door. Because I want to change the association of the crate for a dog that shows insecurity about the crate. So I hope that makes sense, guys, because crates are great tools. They really are. I wish more people would use them and get the phobia out of them. Like I told people all the time, in my house when I was up north, when I had the room, I left the crate out all the time. Zoe would go in on her own, sometimes just because that's what she wanted to do. Never forced her in it. Didn't make her go in it. She'd go in there on her own, just to go to bed. And usually when she went in there, that means she wanted to be left alone. So if I had other dogs in the house, I made sure no other dogs went near her, because it's not fair. So, Myrna, I have 2 feral kittens in my yard that are now part of an outdoor family, and my Chihuahua always likes to go after them. I've been repeatedly saying treat and no, and she stops. How can I get her to never go after them to prevent the fight, even though the cats run away, but afraid? Yeah, that. since we're working on domesticating them and placing them for adoption. Yeah, and you got to be real careful with feral cats, guys. I mean, my Zoe, we have a cat. We've had cats in my family. Zoe's great with my cats, but any cat outside, she tries to go after. If you know where the cats pretty much stay, what I would do is bring the dog out on the leash, and you can use your treats, and but as you're walking towards where the cats are, if you see any change from the normal happy-go-lucky little Chihuahua to okay, we're getting close, pop, boom. No, those cats represent calm. So it would be the same thing if you can visualize it. That if I had a dog that was reactive to, a herding breed dog that liked chasing kids around, um, what I would do is sit there and have the kids run around, and I would be sitting there every time the dog got excited because the kids were running around and went into that herding mode. No, it's till the point where they get to understand that, hey, that has to represent calm, and it takes some time. But you want to represent those cats as calm. The chase of the cats has to represent calm. You're not allowed to chase the cats. It's the same way a dog's not allowed to chase somebody on a bicycle. And if you have a dog that chases somebody on a bicycle, I would do the same routine. I have somebody ride by the bicycle while I'm on the curb. No, that has to represent calm. And then give them the treat when the state of mind is calm, and praise the living crap out of them, because that's so important. So I would take her on. I don't know if it's a her or not. Oh, she stopped. So yes, I would take her on leash to where the cats usually are, and as I'm walking closer, if I see any change from anything other than calm as we get closer, I'd stop the process there with a little pop of the leash at a no. When she's calm, you can give her a treat, um, and just keep working on it. Just take the time, guys. I say this, and I know we're getting close to that magic time, guys. It's in my world, it's a journey we go on with these dogs when we start the training process, which should start day one. And I always refer to it as that Ming vase. You know, a Ming vase starts off as a lump of clay, and that's what our dogs start off with. They're a lump of clay, and it's our job to mold them into this beautiful creature that they become. Beautiful member of society, however you want to word it. But every so often when you're on the little pottery wheel and the thing is spinning around and you go to make your beautiful vase, it collapses. You don't get frustrated and take the clay and throw it against the wall, throw it to a shelter in this cases, with some of these dogs. No, okay, that one didn't work. Let's try it again. And we build this beautiful, beautiful creature going through a journey. And that's what it is when we're dealing with reactivity, dealing with any of this stuff. It's a journey. And there are going to be times during the journey that vase may collapse. Take it as an opportunity to try it again and make it into that beautiful work of art that it should be. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for the weekend. Remember, I'm not going to be here next week. I'll be here the following week. And again, if anybody's interested in the live new format I'm doing, please reach out to me. Phone number 631-514-9128. That is my cell phone number. Please text me or email me at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. With that being said, guys, thank you as always for inviting me into your homes this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning. I really, really do appreciate it. It's an honor and a pleasure to bring this to you. It's the highlight of my week every Saturday, hopefully every Tuesday night. Starting in August will be another highlight of my week. So I have two highlights in 1 week. But with that being said, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless. And remember, together, we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.